In today's gaming news, Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls launches this evening, the early access dates and times are announced for Elder Scrolls Online, and is Heroes of the Storm doing enough different to stand apart from other MOBAs? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force with your day's gaming news. First up today, Diablo 3's expansion Reaper of Souls is finally here. We'll be launching this evening with the launch date here in North America set for 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, there's been a lot of recent additions to Diablo 3 with the introduction of Loot 2.0 and the Paragon 2.0 system, and also just an overhaul to the different classes, difficulty, and things like that in the game. So lots of big improvements. Now when it comes to Reaper of Souls, the expansion itself and what it will be adding, well, with this expansion we are of course getting the Crusader class, a sort of holy warrior. Act 5 is being introduced, and then there's going to be adventure mode, which will be adding basically a sort of like a bounty, it's a bounty system. You get to go throughout all of the acts and complete bounties and collect rewards and currency and stuff like that. So that is it. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls is here. I am definitely going to be checking out the game. Expect some coverage from me. I really hope that I can get back into it because I definitely loved that game. Well, I loved that game for what I played of it. I only ended up playing it like a couple of weeks after the launch of the title, but I did like the 60 to 100 hours or so that I put in to the title when it did launch. And you know, I do hope that these improvements really make a big difference. I guess that's really the big thing that I do want to say. I really hope that this makes a big enough a difference to get some people back into the game and sort of revitalize the Diablo franchise, if you will, because there was definitely a lull with the auction house and just a lot of the game systems people weren't happy with. The auction house is gone. Loot's been improved. Characters are getting overhauled. We've got a new act. We've got adventure mode with bounties. Will that be enough? I guess we'll find out. Next up in news, Elder Scrolls Online will be launching on April 4th, which is just a little bit over a week away. However, if you pre-order the game through Bethesda's website, you can get 5-day early access. The early access begins at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, March the 30th for here in North America. This was revealed during a recent Reddit AMA, and other regions' early access times were also revealed. I'll give you guys a link to those timetables so you can find out when early access begins for you specifically. So yeah, I've been playing this game a ton. I think there's really no question about that. If you follow my channel, I upload a fair amount of videos, usually one every couple of days or so. And I'm going to ramp that up just a little bit as we get up close to the launch of the game. And then post-launch, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. But as long as I keep playing the game, I will keep covering it. At this point, I've sunk in 250 hours over the course of the last month or so. I've definitely been playing it a lot. And I think that speaks for itself. I've been enjoying it. I've been having a good time with the game. I am looking forward to the early access. I am looking forward to the launch. I'll probably do a early access live stream on Sunday. So that's something to look forward to if you like the game. I think at this point, people have sort of come out and expressed their opinion, either for or against the game. There's just been a huge heated debate leading up to the launch of the title, and we'll have to see how that community, if it keeps going in such a back and forth manner after the launch, or if the people who just don't like the game will just stop talking about it. I mean, how can you really be angry at something forever? I guess you could be. I guess there's people who will be like that, but yeah, I like the game. I think it's a lot of fun. Is it flawless? Absolutely not. There are a lot of issues. There are a lot of things that I hope they look to improve in the coming months and years after launch. But as of now, it's a fun game that I'm really enjoying, so I will keep playing it. All right, guys, and last up in news today, we will be talking about another game that I'm currently interested in, and that is Heroes of the Storm. This is, of course, the free-to-play MOBA coming from Blizzard, in which they're trying to mix things up and do things a little bit differently. Well, in an article over on Eurogamer, they broke down some of the pros and cons of the game, talking about the pros being quick matches, more casual feeling, and no item shop, which sort of decreases the learning curve, and some of the cons being that this game is a lot more team reliant, essentially because of these objectives that these maps contain. So, you know, you've got the standard MOBA tropes of enemy creeps fighting each other, and you have to push past the creeps, push past the defenses, and kill the enemy base. But then there's these objectives in this game, and those objectives are super important. Getting them usually turns the tide of the battle in your favor and makes it so that your team is more likely to win. So with that, with these objectives and a few of them on a few of the maps that are available, being so team focused, specifically like the Cursed Hollow, where you've got to fight, to have these team fights at these cursed shrine locations. You know, if you don't have a full team who's on board with what they're supposed to be doing, it's likely you're not going to get those, and it's likely, as such, you're going to lose. So even though this game has tried to ease people in and make it a little bit of an easier introductory experience compared to other MOBAs with no item shop, just picking your skills as you level up depending on the type of build that you want to have, and no last hitting, and then no individual XP with team XP, there is also a huge reliance on team play. And if you don't have a good team, if you're going in solo queue, that could be a huge problem and a huge point of frustration. So what I'd like to talk about with you guys today is, what do you think about those points? What do you think about those cons specifically? And also, do you think that this game is setting itself up to be successful if it's different enough, and if that difference is good enough to make this a big quality title? Beyond the fact that Blizzard's name is attached to it and it will have an innate fan base for that reason, the game in and of itself, is it good enough? Will it withstand the test of time? Far too early for me to make a decision on that question, but so far I do like the game, but I do also see those points of frustration. As someone who queues up solo a lot myself, having reliance on teammates who don't always know what they're doing can be a huge point of frustration. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. On Wednesday will be the next episode of the Force Feed. Thanks again, guys. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. I would say if there's one thing that I've carried from other MOBAs into Heroes of the Storm, it's the fact that nothing is ever my fault. My teammates are always to blame, and if we lose, it's because they suck. And I'm a pro, but I can't carry their sucky asses, so oh well.